Hi everyone, welcome to this Yeovil Mini Creatives making session where I'm joined by another one of our lovely artists, Dawn Handy, who is helping us put together the booklet, the memory booklet of great fun family friendly activities brought to you with by Yeovil Art Space and the Huddle in Yeovil. You can probably see a little bit of Dawn's work behind it. She's a mosaic artist amongst other things, and obviously a mum, because we've invited all the artists that are involved in this project to share their creative parenting with everybody who's watching these videos. So welcome, Dawn. Really looking forward to
thank you.
work. So you are a very creative parent, and you've had a lot of experience at that, haven't you? You were number 4 now?
Yeah, my youngest is almost 3. Yeah, so I have 4, and I think creativity as part of parenthood is you have to keep them busy.
You do have to keep them busy, yeah.
Art is a great outlet for little ones.
So are all 4 of have you kind of done creativity with all 4 of them all the way? Are they creative now, or?
Yeah, they are actually. They all like to sketch and draw. They all have different creative outlets as well. So music, art, drama, I think they all tie into each other. My youngest is really into art. She loves making mosaics and painting, clay, salt dough, just anything that we've been able to get our hands on during lockdown as well. And of course, she's got access to my studio. So she's had a ball.
But I've seen what you've produced for the booklet, which is fantastic. And you have really thought about people not having access to specialist art equipment, which I think is brilliant, because that's what this whole series is about, is making creativity accessible to everybody. So I'm going to stop talking now and let you do your thing and show us what you've come and designed for all the parents. And I'm going to enjoy watching you. So over to you, Dawn.
That's great. Thank you. I just have to put this on a tripod so you can see my hands. I got it currently in my studio. So what I've done for the booklet is working with adapting mosaic so that they're more for little ones. You can use absolutely anything that you have at home. And for my daughter, I used eggshells. Eggshells, I don't know if you can see those, just break them up into tiny little pieces, and you can use them if you've cleaned them, obviously clean them, dry them, use PVA glue, and you can use them for mosaics. I've got quite a lot here to show you all the different things that you'll find at home that you can use. This butterfly, the template is actually in the book. It's been made from, as you can see, it's a pizza box. So it's recycled pizza box, and the tesserae, which are the little pieces that I've used, have all been made from milk bottle, which was cut up into little pieces, which my daughter painted. For this, she's used acrylic paint. You might not have acrylic paint, you might have poster paint, just let that dry, or you could stick tissue paper on top of the milk bottle, milk container pieces, and let your little one decorate it. So it's kind of like a stained glass effect. I went for black and thick black outlines because I work a lot with black grout really, and I think it gives a good contrast. But just use your imagination with your little one. Give them a whole range of colors and materials to work with and see what they come out with your support. I'm just going to turn this over so you can see my desk. Okay. Oh, guess what? I just dropped that off there. So what I'll do is just hold my phone. I'm not a techie.
Okay, well, I'm wondering whether you can switch your camera around to landscape so we can.
Yeah, of course. Bear with me. My issue is, yeah. This is actually my first Zoom call needing to do this. Please bear with me. I'm just trying to find out.
I'm just wondering whether we, because I can't see too much. I'm wondering whether we stop. Hi, welcome everyone to this making video as part of the Yeovil Mini Creatives project we're doing, brought to you by Yeovil Art Space and the Huddle in Yeovil, where we are introducing 4 wonderful local artists. We've got Dawn here with us today, Dawn Handy, and hi. Excited about seeing what you're going to make, and it's all of these little videos are here to help you to access the art projects that you're going to find in the booklet that we've made for you, the free available resource for parents to kind of entertain their little ones, really, and use creativity to help you with their learning and development. This has been brought about because we've all been stuck in our houses through this lockdown, and my children are a little bit older, but you've got a younger one, haven't you, Dawn? And you need to keep them busy.
Yeah, I think that's a helicopter going overhead, so I don't
that just proves you're local, doesn't it? That just proves you're local to Yeovil when you hear the helicopter coming over.
Absolutely.
So yeah, entertaining little ones is a great thing to do, but I suppose if you're not creative, it becomes a little bit harder. So we are here to try and make that a little bit easier for you. So Dawn, what kind of creativity have you used with your children in your parenting?
Well, I like to bring in all sorts of creativity, art, music, you know, a bit of drama, poetry, anything that, you know, my children respond to. And I think all of my children are very different. They all have very different ways of learning. They all have very different interests and mediums that they like to work in. With my daughter over lockdown, I've used a lot of recycled materials, which is why the activities that are mine in the booklet that I'm sharing with you, that's very loud, sorry, are basically using recycled materials. So anything that you have at home can be made into something wonderful and creative. And you know, it's a wonderful activity because you're working together and you're making these things together, sitting with your little one. I think it also improves hand-eye coordination, dexterity, confidence, as well as keeping them busy, you know, and who doesn't like a nap? So.
Brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to this. So I'm going to hand over to you. I'm going to share the view of this screen. I'll put you on full screen and you can work your magic. Looking forward to this.
Awesome. Thanks. So I'm in my studio at the moment. I'm just going to pop you down on the table so that you can see. Can you see my hands here?
That's perfect. Yeah. That's great. Thank you.
Great. So a couple of the templates that you'll find in the booklet are for these sorts of little mosaics for little ones. Can you see that properly? So this has been made from a pizza box. Just basically cut out a little template. Doesn't have to be a butterfly, absolutely anything. Any sort of thickish cardboard. I mean, you can bend it. It's really kind of yeah, good for that. As you can see, these little bits are called tesserae. In mosaic arts, you can make them from absolutely anything. Little ones really enjoy sticking with glue. I know my daughter loves using glue and then putting things down, sticking little goodies. These little bits here are made from a milk container. So I chopped up a milk container and then together we painted this with acrylic paint. I do have acrylic pens, but you can use poster paint. Some of the tesserae we've made do use poster paint. She also likes to use food coloring, anything at all that you have that can change the color. Yeah, pencil crayons if you're using cardboard or fiber pens. Sorry, I'm thinking of the South African word is koki pens, but just ordinary felt tip. Sorry, felt tip pens would be fantastic. You can create tesserae out of cardboard, little cardboard squares, all sorts. So anyway, this one is made from a milk carton container, which we're using for cutting. I've got with me, this is another one of the templates. It's a little cat that's just been made from packaging. So it's just cardboard, which has been painted black on the one side. The reason I've painted it black is because I work with a lot of black grout, because it creates a really strong contrast in colors. And yeah, they must be really busy up. Very loud. This is a little mosaic made by my 2.5-year-old. Basically, she's used salt dough in just a jar lid. And then I've had some beads and little charms and things lying around. You can do this with buttons or anything at all. She's pushed it into the salt dough. and I've let it dry, and she's got this little mosaic which has its own little frame in the lid as well. So you could color the salt dough and then push these in. Oh, there's so much you can do. What I'm first going to show you is a few different ways of making tesserae. And then I've also got 3 templates to work with. Some of them are recycled, some you might just find locally as a pack. Well, first of all, what's really good for little ones, especially, and very easy for them to use, is tissue paper. So a lot of the time with my daughter, she loves the feeling of using PVA glue and tissue paper. And you can cut these up into shapes, squares, rectangles, whatever you fancy, or she finds it quite satisfying to just tear little pieces. So, and there you have the little squares. And of course, with tissue paper, when you're layering tissue paper and PVA, you can do different colors and talk to your little one about mixing colors just as you would with mixing paint, and the different colors that you can see as a result of putting 2 different types of tissue paper together. Over here, I'm just going to show you my desk for a minute. So these are little glass baubles that I use in my mosaics. These are tesserae, and these are little mirrors. Now, if you don't have any of these lying around, you can easily make tesserae. This is an example of what my daughter has been making. So basically what she's been doing is I've cut a piece of a milk container, it's a milk carton, and I've given her the paint to play with, and she's gone and, you know, had a ball and just decorated the plastic, which is brilliant. And then of course, I would suggest parents do this. You cut them up, cut up your little rectangle or squares or whatever shapes your little one is decorating. I would suggest that you use flat parts of the container because the edges can be a little bit sharp. So you want to make sure that you don't give your little one the sharper edges. You can actually trim the edges off if you need to. These are salt dough tesserae, which are actually very satisfying for little hands to hold. And we've made this by making salt dough. There's a recipe in the booklet, so refer to that if you like. And you'll see how you can make some salt dough tesserae. They're really lovely because it's a whole process of mixing and messing with flour and water. And then of course, when they're baked, you can paint them. So this is what it looks like. This is probably a slightly overbaked salt dough tesserae. And then this is what it looks like. Once they are cool and dry, you can start painting them. And these here, these little white bits, which look like torn up cardboard, are actually eggshells. So you can use eggshells to create a lovely mosaic. I'm just going to pop this back now so that you can see my table. So here is the little owl template. And what I'm going to do is just show you the effect that a lot of these little tesserae end up looking like. So I've got some PVA glue, one of my daughter's little paintbrushes, or a basic glue spreader. If you don't have a glue spreader, I mean, I quite often don't have a glue spreader. I'll be misplacing something. Have a piece of cardboard, tear your piece of cardboard up or cut it. This one's obviously a bit thicker, it's got a staple in it. So you can just dip that in the glue and spread it anywhere you like to. I'm going to use my glue spreader for now. In the template, you have some triangles that are not currently here. I've not cut the triangles out on this one to show you the contrast between the black template and the different types of tesserae that you can use. So I'm going to create some long rectangular strips just with the glue. I mean, my daughter loves doing this herself. And she also enjoys using an earbud for glue. So you might have an earbud at home. And that in itself is sort of like using a paintbrush for her. And she likes to take the earbud and deliberately place the earbud covered in glue onto the template wherever she likes it. And then I think the cool thing about Mosaic is it's about choice. They're very deliberately choosing where they want to put the tesserae. And that's what my daughter loves about this. So this is salt dough. I'm going to put some little salt dough tesserae on this section here. And as you can see, it really stands up, and it's quite satisfying. Gives them a sort of 3D mosaic. And they can just decorate it any way that they want. You just want to make the salto a little thicker. Obviously, if you're doing salto, you're going to need to leave it to lie down to dry. With most of this, you'll need to do that. Let's do a line of salto. I'll need some more glue for salto. Boop, boop, boop. There we are. That one's obviously not painted, but just to give you an idea of the shapes. You can also talk to them about leaving spaces in between. The kind of negative space between the shapes is quite fun to look at. You can talk to your little one about colors and shapes and even counting when you're doing this. My daughter loves to chat while she's making art. It's usually about dinosaurs and which dinosaur likes which color and what they're going to have for tea this evening. I'm using eggshells at the moment. So I'm going to do a line of eggshells. What I'm doing is just having a look at the gaps between the eggshells. And I talked to my daughter about this. It kind of mimics grout. So if you were putting tiles or tessera onto a mosaic, like I have just behind me here, and you're using black grout, the space is the negative space between each one of your tessera is basically what this is going to end up looking like. So I'm going to just do a line of eggshells here. You can use either side of the eggshell, it really doesn't matter, just whatever's easiest for your little one to handle. Eggshells can be colored. You can use paint. You can use poster paint. You can use food coloring. You can use acrylic paint, whatever you feel like using, whatever you have at home. Crucially for us, that was the most important thing during this past year. What do we have at home? What can we adapt? So I found myself using a lot of packaging, which was really fun actually, and then developing activities that my daughter would really enjoy with the packaging. Here's an example of some of the milk bottle tessera that we've made. Whoops, I've just dropped a piece of tissue paper on there. I'll apply some more glue. Make another couple of lines there. Okay, so they're very easy to hold for little hands. You can paint either side of them and then just lightly press it down. Let your little one choose wherever they want to put their little tessera. You know, absolutely anywhere. It's all about imagination, engagement for me when it comes to my daughter and making art. I want her to love what she's doing, to have fun with what she's doing. I won't be saying to her, you need to put this here, or you need to definitely put this there. I like her to have a choice about how she wants to decorate. And I think for me, that led to her not being sort of having the toddler frustration so much when you're doing an activity like this. So she kind of feels a bit more confident, like, oh, this is mine and I get to choose. So she's really loved that. So as you can see, these are the different types of tessera. I'm going to use some tissue paper next. Here we are. So got a long bit there. I'm just going to tear it. We've got lots of different colors that are currently sticking to my hands. Obviously, glue, that happens. Okay, now this is just a visual guide to let you know what you could use. There's so many different things that you can do with mosaic. It's, I would say, an affordable art form, because basically if you have cardboard, if you have paper, if you have eggshells and glue, that's all you need. That's absolutely all you need. I mean, this was made with flour and water, eggshells, an empty milk container, and tissue paper. So this is one that my daughter started doing, which she never finished. She hasn't finished yet, but it's lots of fun. We were doing this one together, so I started sticking a few bits around the eyes, and she's been sticking little bits here. It's just really fun, and she's enjoying that. This is tissue paper. This is milk container. Obviously, it needs a little bit more glue. Don't expect it to be, you know, just absolutely perfect, because I think with art, just have fun, just enjoy it with them. For me, with my daughter, it's just about enjoying the time with her. This is a camembert box. So apart from these templates that I've put together, there's so many different things that you can use. I've just randomly drawn a silly little dinosaur. I've got an empty camembert box that I've painted. we've started with this one. So here's another camembert box, and she's just taken glue and some paint and painted the inside, and then she started sticking some tesserae down, and these are milk container tesserae that she's decorated. I picked this up as a pack the other day in a really cheap store. This would be perfect as well, or you can just draw your own templates using cardboard. So this little guy obviously is a dinosaur. He's supposed to be a dinosaur. If you feel uncomfortable drawing your own templates, have a look around the house, look around your home and see what you can find. So you might have, you know, bowls and cups and all sorts of things that have different shape, different size circles on their different diameters. You can trace around them, and that can really help you to make your templates. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it's just about the fun interaction, really. Right, so Mr. Dinosaur, he's very basic. I would just say apply some glue, give your little one the opportunity to just have fun with us. Lots of glue. And then what I'm going to do is use some more tissue paper. I think is going to be red. I'm tearing this. So I'm literally just tearing this. And it becomes like a form of collage with little ones, especially really small little ones who perhaps the milk containers wouldn't be suitable for. Another thing that you could do, there you go, and you can literally layer this as well. You don't have to leave gaps in between. If you don't have paint at home and you have tissue paper, just use that. If you don't have tissue paper, but you have paint, how about just drawing? I'm just going to grab a couple of my pens here. So if I just pick one up that works, I've got some cardboard, and I'm just going to paint a little bit on Mr. Dino's tail. And I'm just looking for this bit of cardboard. Okay, so this is my most random piece of cardboard that I could possibly have in my house. Okay, I'm just going to tear this. What you can do is just color that cardboard. Have your little one color the cardboard. Do it together. Just enjoy your time together. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can even use that barcode as a texture. I'm cutting this up. I'm going to cut that piece up there into little squares. You might want to use diamonds, you might want to use rectangles, you might want to do triangles, circles, whatever you fancy, whatever they fancy. It's just about enjoying your time together. Okay. And as you can see, we've gone from random cardboard barcode to lots of little tesserae. So you can literally make this from absolutely anything. I think the most important thing for me is that all little children and all people, everybody, young people, little ones, we all learn in a different way. So just gauge your little one, maybe observe and see how they like to play. What are their interests? Do they prefer the sticking? Do they prefer the painting? I think having four, all of mine were very different, and I just tried to kind of figure out what they love doing, and then it was less stressful. Because if I try to set up one activity.
That's so good, Dawn. It's just about having fun. I think you said that a few times, yeah. and then you really like, oh, can I see your lovely face? And then thank you so much. And you mentioned like having fun, and then you were like telling us about the counting and the colouring and the space shapes and all the learning that can go on while you're having all this fun. I love the idea. I love the idea of using the milk bottles. We've never done that in our house, and the salt dome in the bottle top is a genius idea.
Thank you. It's diverse. Yeah, you can adapt anything.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And you can see when a professional does what it looks like behind you is a beautiful piece of mosaic there. So you're going to be responsible for future mosaic artists, I think, with this lovely little activity. It's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
So if you really enjoyed what Dawn's just shown you, as I said, you can find her designs and handy hints in the booklet that we've created for you. And as we're saying, it's about the process of making with your little ones, so taking photographs as they're making these things, and about, like you mentioned several times, about just enjoying making together as parent and child, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
And that's what this booklet is about, like you recording the making that you're doing with your child. So if you haven't managed to pick up a free booklet, you'll be able to download it if you visit www.yeovilartspace.uk. And obviously you're a member of the Facebook, the Huddle group for Yeovil Mini Creatives. So all the social media platforms will have this booklet available to parents. We just want to kind of encourage you to be creative with your children. And as Dawn has said several times, let's just have some fun with it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. It's absolutely brilliant. That's lovely. Thanks, Dawn. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.